What's up guys, welcome back to the Run with Jay channel. So in today's video, we have a racing shoes showdown between two titans, the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent going up against the Saucony Endorphin Pro. So both of these shoes are highly rated for racing. They're fast, light, and they'll get you your personal records. And as usual, we're going to look at 5 different categories and score these two shoes. So the categories are going to be design and features, cost and value, comfort, weight, and finally performance. So each of these categories, the shoes will get a score of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. And then we're going to tally up the scores to see which shoe reigns supreme. So if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. Please hit that like and subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications, and let's get started. So the first category we're going to look at is design and features. And of course, I'll put the links below for the full reviews for these two shoes if you want to check them out. So we'll start off with the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent in terms of design and features. So in my opinion, the shoe is designed very nice. It looks fast, it looks aggressive, and it looks like a shoe that you want to go fast in. And I'm sure if you've been in a race in the past, you've seen somebody with the shoe in the starting lineup. This shoe's got a ton of ZoomX foam, which is Nike's proprietary foam. It's very soft, it's lightweight, it gives great energy return, and I think this foam is unmatched right now in the industry. You got a carbon fiber plate that's sandwiched in between the shoe and the upper. And the upper you have Nike Vapor Weave material, which is used for sailing boats. And it's very water resistant, so that's very nice. And it's also got the Achilles padding in the back to give you that comfort, and there's a lot of outsole on the bottom of the shoe with the asymmetrical laces to keep you locked in to go fast for longer distances. So in terms of design and features, I think this is the top of the line in terms of running shoes. It's got a lot of good technology. It's fast, it's super lightweight. I think Nike hit a home run when creating this shoe. Now the Endorphin Pro is also a very nice shoe as well. So Saucony really, amped up their shoe design this year with the Endorphin line, with these neon colored hues, which I really like. I think the shoe looks fresh, it looks new, and it looks different compared to other shoes on the market. The Power Run PWR foam on the bottom is very nice, very responsive and cushiony as well. However, I think it's just a little bit more stiff compared to the ZoomX foam. You also have a S-curve carbon fiber plate in this shoe, which gives you that great energy return. The upper is like an engineered mesh. It's very thin compared to Endorphin Speed to shave off some of that weight. The ankle area's got a lot of cushion for comfort as well for going long distance. The tongue on here is stitched into the upper, and it's got nice tabs in the front so you can put your laces in there so it doesn't flap around while you're running. So overall design and features, this shoe is very nice as well. I kind of like it. It's different. And, I think Saucony has been doing a great job lately with their shoes, and I can't wait to see what they have for us for next year's running shoe collection. So in terms of design and features, both of these shoes get a score of 5. So the next category we're going to look at is cost and value. So in terms of cost and value, the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent is definitely an expensive shoe at $250. Right now, you still can't even find it in stores because it gets sold out as soon as it's released. This is a shoe that you see tons of elites wear because it's tried and true. It is fast, it is good, and nobody has come close yet in terms of matching the shoe until the Saucony Endorphin Pro was released. So, this shoe is very nice. For $250 though, it's really a judgment call between the buyer on if it's worth it to them or not. I think it's a little bit pricey for a shoe, but knowing Nike, things just keep going up every year. The Alphafly Next Percent actually costs $25 more. So, I'm sure in the future we're going to see running shoes costing over $300, which is kind of scary to think about. So, in terms of cost and value, I think this shoe is a little bit expensive for the average consumer. You don't need this shoe to run races in. It's just a luxury to have. But for $250, you're getting a lot of things like the ZoomX foam, carbon fiber plate, the upper. So a lot of technology and research has gone into this shoe, and I guess that's what you're paying for as well as the brand for Nike. So the Saucony Endorphin Pro costs $200, which is pretty standard for other competitor brands in their top of the line shoes. So it sits nicely in the competition, and I think it's actually a little bit better than most of the other brands with their carbon fiber reiterations. So this shoe is very nice, and cost and value $200. You're getting tons of features, almost exactly what you're getting with the Vaporfly. The Power Run foam, carbon fiber plate, the upper is all done very nicely. So Saucony has done a great job with testing the shoe, and having elites and athletes like Jared War test the shoe for a long time. So they've really put their time in designing the shoe, and I think they've done a spectacular job, and it's really close to the Vaporfly, and I can't wait for next year's version because I think Saucony is just going to get better and better. So for $200, you're getting a ton of features, and in my mind, I think it's a better value in terms of price. So in terms of cost and value, I would give the Endorphin Pro a score of a 4 and the Nike Vaporfly a score of a 3.5. So after 2 rounds, the Saucony Endorphin Pro is leading the Vaporfly Next Percent with a score of 9 to 8.5. The next category we're going to look at is comfort. So the Vaporfly Next Percent is definitely very comfortable. As soon as you put your foot in, you'll feel like you're so high up, and so much foam in this shoe makes it very squishy and bouncy when you're running. And it's made for marathons and long distances, so you can definitely run long distance in this shoe and still not feel fatigue. It's supposed to give you more energy return, so it makes your legs less tired, and it definitely does that. All this amount of ZoomX foam is just insane, and just gets so much energy return, and it's super comfortable. It's got the Achilles padding in the back, which is very nice, and Nike's putting these in all of the shoes now. The only thing I would say is some people might complain it's a little bit more narrow in the middle part, and also the top when you tie the laces in with the tongue, it can be very tight. But for a racing shoe, I kind of like that lockdown in feel, which makes you able to go faster for me. So I know that's something that some people might have a gripe about, but to me it's okay. The Endorphin Pro in terms of comfort is very comfortable as well. The engineered mesh top along with the padding on the ankle area is very good. The tongue is also very comfortable as well. And also got these waist bands on the top where you can put your laces in so they're not flapping around while you're running. The foam is definitely very responsive, and it gives you great energy return. The green Power Run foam and also the S-curved carbon fiber plate that the Endorphin Pro has definitely is great as well. So very comfortable shoe. As soon as I put these in, I ran a half marathon in it, and I just loved it. I always thought, wow, there's finally some competition for the Vaporfly Next Percent. So in terms of comfort, the overall score that I would give for the Vaporfly would be a score of 5, and then Endorphin Pro would get a score of 5 as well. So after 3 rounds, the Endorphin Pro is still leading the Vaporfly Next Percent with a score of 14 to 13.5. The next round we're going to look at is weight. So in terms of weight, the Vaporfly Next Percent is definitely a very light shoe. It weighs at about 6.5 ounces for a size 9, so super light. You barely feel the shoe when you have it on your feet. It makes you just want to go fast, and definitely it's a huge advantage in terms of racing shoe and for longer distances to get your legs less tired, and this shoe definitely does that with the energy return as well as the weight. The Saucony Endorphin Pro isn't that heavy, but it weighs at about 7.6 ounces for a size 9, which is a little bit heavier, about an ounce than the Vaporfly Next Percent. You do feel the weight a little bit. However, the shoe has also got great energy return, and it's very comfortable. So both of these shoes are very light. The Vaporfly Next Percent just edges the Saucony Endorphin Pro by about an ounce, which to some people is a world of difference. And I'll definitely to give the advantage over to the Vaporfly because of that. So in terms of scoring for the weight, the Vaporfly Next Percent gets a score of a 5, and the Endorphin Pro gets a score of a 4. So after 4 rounds, the Vaporfly Next Percent has finally taken the lead with a score of 18.5 to 18 over the Endorphin Pro. The final round to decide it all will be performance. So in terms of performance, there's nothing else to be said of the Vaporfly Next Percent. You have all the world records and PRs from everyone over the world to prove it that this shoe definitely performs. It's got the whole package. It's lightweight. It's got water resistant fabric. It's comfortable. And, you know, it's got great energy return with the foam and the carbon fiber plate. And this shoe is definitely tough to match. And competitors, you know, have been trying to catch up designing a shoe that can come against this. And no shoe has really come close to it except for the Endorphin Pro that we're looking at. So in terms of performance, the Vaporfly Next Percent is definitely, you know, a fan favorite, and it still is to this day, even though it's over a year old with the Alphafly coming out. And if you have the Alphafly Next Percent, I would use that shoe for longer races, like a full marathon. So this would be the faster shoe compared to the Alphafly, and a shoe that I would use for shorter races instead of the marathon. But you could, you know, of course, use this for the full marathon as well. So the Saucony Endorphin Pro definitely performs as well. It's probably one of the best or fun shoe that I've ever tested. As soon as I got it, I said right away, it got me to enjoy running again once I put my foot in this shoe. It's very lightweight, it's snappy, and it's very comfortable. And, you know, it's just a great shoe to run in. It's hard to, you know, explain if you haven't tried this shoe out, but when you're running in it, it's just, you know, it just feels so good in this shoe. So it definitely does perform. I've set a couple of PRs running in these shoes, and it just makes you want to choose this shoe as a daily trainer, even though you have, you know, the Endorphin Speed as the option for that. But, you know, it just makes you want to pick up this shoe every time you want to use it, go on a run, because the shoe is so comfortable, it's fast, and it's light. You know, the only thing I would say is that the tongue, even though it's comfortable, it doesn't feel as strapped down compared to the Vaporfly Next Percent. So some people might complain that you feel a little bit, you know, unstable or loose in the shoe compared to the Vaporfly. But, you know, to me, it wasn't a big deal. So in terms of performance, this shoe has been, you know, is definitely performed. Saucony has tested this shoe with, you know, hundreds of athletes, like, you know, Jared Ward, which is one of their runners. And, you know, they've definitely come out with a monster that can definitely compete with the Vaporfly Next Percent. So in terms of performance, both of these shoes get a score of a 5. So the results are in, and we have a winner. And the winner of today's Racing Shoe Showdown is the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent, coming out barely edging the Saucony Endorphin Pro with a score of 23.5 to 23. My goodness, this was a close battle. So Saucony had the lead early on, but the later rounds, the Vaporfly really shined in terms of weight and comfort, to put it just barely over the top of the Endorphin Pro. So to wrap everything up, both of these shoes are amazing. You know, there's a $50 difference, and, you know, the $200 for the Pro I feel like is a better value, you know, if your price is a concern. However, and, you know, I would give the Vaporfly just a slight advantage, and the shoe that I would pick over if I were to, you know, choose it for a racing event. I would definitely go with the Vaporfly over the Pro. But, you know, not taking anything away from the Pro, the Endorphin Pro is definitely a very comfortable shoe. I thoroughly enjoyed running in it, and it's a shoe that I always want to pick up when I go outside for a normal run even. So I might even think about using the Pro as a normal everyday trainer or fast tempo running shoe at this point. So, you know, both of these shoes will definitely perform. They'll definitely go fast. The carbon fiber is great. I've set personal bests in both of these shoes. The Saucony has done an amazing job with their Endorphin line and creating the Endorphin Pro. It's so close to the Vaporfly Next Percent, and I just can't wait to see what they're going to come up with for next year's line. You know, so I'm excited that other companies are, you know, coming out with amazing shoes to go up against Nike's, you know, Vaporfly or Alphafly racing shoes. So you can't go wrong with any of these shoes. You know, if you have an opportunity to get any of these, you won't, you know, regret it. They're fast and they're furious, you know, and they're very good choices for a race day. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you think the Vaporfly should have won, or you think the Saucony Pro is the better overall shoe. Or if you guys have any other comments, feedback, or questions, please feel free to leave them down below. Hope you guys are doing well and your training is going great. And I'll talk to you guys on the next Shoe Showdown.